Lesson 6, Machine Learning and Bias. At the conclusion of this lesson, you will be able to train and test a machine learning model, and you'll be able to reason about how human bias plays a role in machine learning. Now, first, what does it mean for a machine to learn, and how can a machine learn? Jot down your ideas. All right, machine learning, it actually refers to a computer that can recognize patterns and make decisions without being explicitly programmed. In the activity you're about to undertake, you're going to supply the data to train your own machine learning model. Imagine an ocean that contains creatures like fish, but it also contains trash dumped by humans. What if we could train a computer to tell the difference and then use that technology to help clean the ocean? That would be great. Well, let's see about doing that. At this time, I want you to log into code.org and navigate to Unit 9, Lesson 6, Level 3. I want you to notice that to program AI, which is our little artificial intelligence machine, you're going to use the buttons to label an image as either fish or not fish. Each image and label becomes part of the data used to train AI to do all of this on its own. Once trained, AI will attempt to label 100 new images on its own, then present a selection that it determined to have the highest probability of being fish based on its training. If you consistently label things correctly, you should see an ocean full of different types of sea creatures without much or any other objects. Now, again, you should be at Unit 9, Lesson 6. And before we start on the level where you're going to actually say what is a fish and what's not a fish, let's take a look and see what is machine learning. If you're watching this video and you're at home, then go to Unit 9, Lesson 6, and look for the first video. And it will also be the same video, and you can watch it on your own. Pause this video now, go watch that one. All right, you're back. Now, that was on level 2. So now that you're on level 3, or move to level 3, I want you to complete the activity. In this activity, you're going to tell AI if something is a fish or is not a fish. Does it belong or does it not belong? Okay, I want you also to think as you're doing this, what potential problems do you think come up when creating training sets? So think about that as you work through these 3 levels, and you should take no more than about 5 minutes to do this. So go ahead, pause the video, and work through these 3 levels. Welcome back. How well did AI do? Did he only select fish as fish? Or were there some problems? How do you think AI decided what to include in the ocean? You should be thinking about these things. Even if you're not writing them down, you should be thinking about this. Now, in the second half of this activity, you're going to teach AI about a word of your choosing by showing it examples of that type of fish. As before, AI doesn't start with any training data about these labels. Even though the words in this level are fairly objective, it's possible that you will end up with different results based on the training data. You might even intentionally train AI incorrectly, just to see what happens. So let's first watch this video on training data and bias, and then we'll move to the activity. Pause your video and go watch, pause this current video, and on code.org, go watch the second video, training data and bias. Now that you've returned, every image in this part of the tutorial is fed into a neural network that has been pre-trained on a huge set of data called Imagenet. The database contains over 14 million hand-annotated images. Imagenet contains more than 20,000 categories, with a typical category such as balloon or strawberry, consisting of several hundred images. When AI is scanning new images and making its own predictions in the tutorial, it is actually comparing the possible categories for the new image with the patterns it found in the training data set. Now, and again, if you needed to, the video that you were supposed to have watched was on level 6, so you're moving on to levels 7 and 8. Again, this should take about 5 minutes to complete these 2 levels. As you're working on these levels, think about in the back of your mind, is it fair to use AI to judge something by looks? What unintended bias could this cause? So work on this and see what you come up with. Again, pause the video. Take about 5 minutes to complete levels 7 and 8. Welcome back. Now, the fish in this tutorial are randomly generated based on some predefined components, including mouths, tails, eyes, scales, and fins, with a randomly chosen body color, shape, and size. Rather than looking at the actual image data, AI is now looking for patterns in these components based on how you classify each fish. It will be more likely to label a fish the same way you would have if it has some of these matching traits. How could biased data result in problems for artificial intelligence? And what are some ways to address this? Think about this. Pause the video, jot down just a couple of ideas to answer these questions. Now, let's take a look at this video. And this video is on bias. If you need to, go to code.org to watch this video if you're not watching in class. So pause this video, go watch the other video. And again, this should be the next level up. Now, how can computing innovations which make use of machine learning reflect existing human bias? How could it be used to discriminate against groups of individuals? How can that bias be minimized? Well, as we've seen, problems of bias are often created by the type or source of data being collected. Collecting more data does not mean that the bias is removed. Computing innovations can reflect existing human biases because of biases written into the algorithms or biases in the data used by the innovation. Machine learning and data mining have led to innovations in medicine, business, and science. But information discovered in this way has been used to discriminate against groups of individuals as well. Programmers, that includes you, should take action to reduce bias in algorithms used for computing innovations as a way to combat existing human biases. Be on the lookout. Bias can occur at any level in software development, from conception to design to actual implementation. Let's take a look at artificial intelligence impact on society. And again, pause the video, and from code.org, go watch this video. Now that you're back, let's wrap this lesson up. Which steps of this process do you think have to be done by humans? And would you be concerned if any of them were automated? Well, any one of these could be automated, but they should all be overseen by humans. Your creation of a visualization is going to be hopefully done by a computer. But which visualization tool is used, how something's visualized, that there should be some human thought in. Collecting or choosing data, well, that's kind of a combination. Cleaning and filtering. You're going to decide how to clean and what to filter on, but the computer will do it. New information, that's where the human really comes in. Human needs to look at the visualization, look at the patterns, and decide on the new information. The computer might suggest. But I would like to think that there's some human fact-checking, if you will. Now, at this point, you've fully explored the core parts of the data analysis process. Ultimately, You are able to use the new information gained through visualizing and finding patterns, whether yourself or using machine learning, to make decisions. This is why being careful about bias is so very important.